It's been a good week, and I appreciate how the kids have come out this week, and looking forward to playing. And that's what's been nice about this week is I think kids are, and we know playing a really good Iowa team, and we understand we get 3 trophy games, but you don't need a trophy for this game in the sense that our kids will be ready, and I like their approach.
What is Vince Beagle's status for Saturday?
Vince will he's practiced all week, so I think we're planning on playing.
So you've been jumping out of the skin, Coach. Have a guy like that have to watch. I imagine it's been kind of pulling back maybe a little bit.
No, I mean Vince is always ready to go, and I've loved what he did to get himself to this point, and he gets an opportunity to play. And that's why I felt bad when he or any of the guys that are out miss opportunities to play, and so we're looking forward to getting them back.
Coach, was there by chance any feelings of any letdowns after such a big game and the results of the game? With I guess like how your team reacts, just in preparations for this week, was there by chance any just down feeling?
The kids were really down after the game, right? I mean, you put everything you can into that week, and they did that. That was awesome. Result wasn't what we wanted, and then you get the opportunity on Sunday to come back, and that's what they've done a really good job of. That as a coach, you appreciate that.
With the leave out, Garrett Rand has gotten some snaps, obviously against Ohio State. I think, if I remember correctly, Hirschfeld did a little bit of nose in camp. Is he available for that?
Yeah, Billy's fine there. So obviously, we'll miss Olive, and now press the same answer. But it's the truth. Like you feel bad for Olive, and yet we've got guys in that D line have to. It's opportunity. Like you said, maybe for Billy or for Garrett. I mean, it's going to be, but how many you go with, and so it's that group. One thing about that group that's really cool is they are a tough group and a prideful group, and they want to. They know that they've got to step up their game to keep the the pride of that room, and we're going to be challenged, right? And it from Iowa, but that group's got to come together, and they will. And that's kind of who they are. But that's out of bad things that can become an opportunity that can be a positive.
I'm sure that toughness has to come from within in them, but how much of that is also the way Inoke is as a coach and the way he plays? He's a no business kind of guy, no nonsense.
Noakes is actually pretty fun. He is. He just doesn't let you know, which I understand. But I think it's everyone. I mean, I think it's the linebackers. I think it's all of our players, and I think it's the coaches. What I mean, that you appreciate the guys and what they're doing, and we don't want to make excuses. And out of adverse situations can come great opportunities, and although it kind of plugs in, but Noakes was, for the record, he was a no-nonsense player. What I mean? And so I think that attitude reinforces to those guys. Those guys have it in them. Yeah. What I mean? A coach can't just make them something they're not, but you can draw things out of kids that that are in them. And so I think that's where it probably all fits together.
Along with what Vince gives you on the field, when you get a player like that, a leader, does that kind of give your defense an emotional lift as well when a guy that comes back from injury?
I think this group cares about each other. And so the emotional part of it, on the field, Vince can now bring it. He was emotionally invested in the team during the time that he was off. If you watched him during the game and interacting. So I don't know, Jason, the impact is on the field because he can now play on the field. But I think he was the same guy, and that's what was kind of neat, is that he's the same guy when he wasn't playing in the locker room, in the meetings, all that. So I don't know if there's more than that. I think it's plenty that he's able to play. That's the contribution. But he was invested the whole time.
Well, hidden yardage can be an important stat when it comes to special teams. Iowa's got a good punter. You guys have done a great job on kickoff coverage, but do you need more pop from your punters in terms of just flipping the field maybe more than they've been able to?
No, I mean, in games, close games, the hidden yardage is huge. You know, it's not really hidden. You know what I mean? Like, you notice it, right? And I think that all of those come together. And you know, we've faced some really good returners. And this week's no different. You know, King does a heck of a job. I mean, he is a dangerous weapon. And so that's all part of it, right? And if we can do that, and it's the punter and it's the coverage units, and, you know, I think their specialists do a good job, you know, on their kickoffs. You know, there are not a lot of opportunities for returns, but, you know, in close games, which, you know, we anticipate and hope to be in, the special teams and what you're talking about, because that's really the battle of field position. You know, that'll be has a chance to be a big part of the story of the day.
Jack Sitchie comes from a big football family. His dad and uncles played, and his grandfather was a high school coach for a long time. From your experiences, does that really help you as a player when you're in that environment growing up, when you have a lot of family members who are around the game a lot?
I think it can absolutely help a player, a person. You know, but I also would like to think that, you know, my daughters grew up in that, and they're not playing football, but they're better because of it. And yet I've been around some great players that weren't in a football family, but they have that. And I think with Sitch, it's the combination of both. You know what I mean? He grew up in that family and how he was raised and who he is. I love and appreciate Sitch a ton, and he loves the game, and there's no doubt that his upbringing has an impact of who he is. You know, but I don't think it's just as simple as, you know, because of A, B, and C, it's going to equal this result. You know, I think there's a ton of credit that he should get, and obviously a big part of who he is how he was raised. So, love the guy.